Hey everyone, you might have noticed that this week I've been working really hard on putting some stuff over in the our web Facebook site. So maybe this week that's what the reason there's gonna be really a small amount of updates and news and stuff, because I decided that since I can't put the images for you here in the video, I'm gonna put them up on the Facebook profile. So you might want to check out, because that's where I'm gonna be doing most of the updates besides the video on the weekends. But right now I'm gonna start talking about the few of the news I have for you. The first one that's important, well, for me at least, it's a great thing coming up. It's a small new update that Steven Wilson from Porcupine Tree did on the project he's working on with Mikael Akerfeldt from Opeth, which some of you might have heard about. Apparently, the project itself is gonna be called Storm Corrosion. And this and what Steven Wilson is saying, it says that it's gonna be really very different from what everything that Opeth has been doing or what Porcupine Tree has been doing. He said it's gonna be very orchestral, very string based, not so much heavy rock. Apparently, it's gonna have any drums in it, so that's the reason why Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater is not in the project, because they called him up and said, you know what, we realized that this project has no room for drums, but that they might work with him in the future. But up to now, Mike Portnoy is not gonna be there. They've been adding that basically they're gonna be hated because of what they're doing. It's gonna be very like I said before, very experimental, not so much as not progressive in the sense that it's gonna be heavy progressive, but progressive in the sense that it's gonna be, you know, very guided through something. Other than that, well, they say it's gonna be. They feel like a lot of pressure that nobody's gonna that most of the people's not gonna like it, but they're confident in what they're doing. And I guess with who they are and their talent, they shouldn't be any nervous at all that they're gonna be doing something that nobody likes, because, well, a lot of people like. Apparently, some fans also, from a totally unrelated subject, some fan from the Croatia fan club of Iron Maiden just released a book called The Clairvoyant on Steve Harris. It's a biography. Apparently, it's very good. I mean, they're saying that it's very good. It's gonna have a 666 numbers. It will print run in Croatia, but it's actually being worked out on having a Portuguese translation and English translation, and somewhere doing August, so that maybe we can get a copy of that here in the United States or in Mexico, or maybe those of you who are lucky enough to live in Brazil, that you also get a lot of translations. Maybe we'll get that. Apparently, it's a very good book, and it covers it. It's not in the sense that it's a storytelling of Steve's life, but rather it's somehow in the vein of what Nicky Six did on the Helloween Diaries. It's a book mostly about anecdotes of the life of Steve Harris, told by people who know Steve Harris personally. So that seems interesting. On the Black Country Comunion, we've been talking about how they're going to have a new album soon. Apparently, and it's going to be called 2. They just released their track listing. It has songs called The Outsider, Man in the Middle, The Battle for Hadrian's Wall, which is also an historic site over in England, Save Me, Cold, Smokestack Woman, Faithless, Ordinary Sun, Little Secret, Crossfire, and Crawl. So apparently they have around 12 songs there in the album. Like I said, I think their very first album was really good. So I hope the second one is gonna be as good as that one. But we'll have to wait. Also on new albums or track listings or whatever you want to call them, we have Brutal Gods from. It's a Germany project that has people from Blind Guardian, Rhapsody, a band called Paradox, and another band, Rebellion, which I've never heard about. And they have their new album coming up, which is they just finished recording it. They're gonna record it in April. It's gonna be called Echoes of the Dead, and it has songs called it has 10 songs apparently, I'm gonna have songs titles like Cult of Fear, I Pray You Die, In the Forecourt of Hell, Land of Black and Dead, Tale of the Void, and The Blood Icon, There is None So Deaf as Those Who Won't Hear, and Walk Through the Dark Veil of Death. And for you guys wondering who the hell are in this band that makes them so important, well, the guitars and the vocals are handled by some people who are recent, like I said, well, rather unknown people. Charlie Steinhauer from Paradox is handling the vocals. I don't know Paradox. If any of you have any idea who he is, hit me up in the middle who he is. Uwe Lullis, who I guess is from Rebellion, is on guitar duty, and Oliver Holwartz, who is very known for his bass playing in Blind Guardian, is over there doing handling bass duties. And meanwhile, Alex Holwartz, who you guys might know as the drum player for Rhapsody, is taking care of drums. Apparently it has a lot of good talent there, so you might want to check that out. It's gonna be start recording in April, so I'm guessing we're hoping for a late 2011 release, maybe somewhere in September, October. And finally, for those of you who are prog power fans, we have the new track listing for the new album by Symphony X, a band I used to like a lot. Some of the songs I used to like from their earlier albums, I thought they were really good. Not the whole albums. I'm not into the kind of really long songs, and you know, the progressive doesn't hit me as much. But anyway, their new album Iconoclast, it's gonna come out in June 17 over in Europe, and on June 21 in North America by through Nuclear Blast Records. Always all good old trustworthy Nuclear Blast. There's gonna be apparently two editions. The first one is the classic jewel case version, which has 9 songs, including Iconoclast, The End of Innocence, Dehumanized, Bastards of the Machine, Heretic, Children of a Faceless God, Electric Messiah, Prometheus, also in parentheses, I Am Alive, and When All Is Lost. And the second version is a 2 CD special edition in a digipack version. It has apparently 12 songs, which are besides the one I already told you about. They have one called Light Up the Night, The Lords of Chaos, and Reigning Madness, so you might wanna check that out. And well, that's for news. Other than the ones I already posted, I posted some new covers on Devin Townsend, on the new how the new Within Temptation album is gonna look up, and the new cover for the new Pain album, so you might want to check that out on our Facebook profile. There are some interesting ideas there. And for this week's musical recommendations, or rather reviews, I want to talk about 2 albums that I think are very good, but some people just left them in the wayside. The first album is, of course, I'm talking about Theatre Tragedy's Machine, which was one of the albums that showed a significant change of style, and a lot of people said that they didn't like it because there was a lot of electronics sounds there that most people didn't like in comparison to what they had done before. The goth thing with the previous 2 albums. Talking about Theatre Tragedy through ages. They were very focused on goth, ambient stuff, very slow stuff, very dramatic stuff in Old English and weird pronunciations, and very atmospheric. And then you have Musique, the album's Musique, and it's very different. It's very electronic. It has a lot of electronics. The male vocalist voice is usually distorted, and it's very different from what they were done. To me, it's a very good album. One of my favorite albums by Theatre Tragedy. Although the fact that I love Theatre Tragedy, I like almost everything they put up. Storm was a great album. Ages was a great album. Assembly was a great album. Everything. The last album, Forever Is a World, was great. But Musique stands out as an album that's very different from what they did before, and you can see that and you can appreciate it. And if you have a broader taste in music, you might actually enjoy it quite a bit. So just let me check out what was the other album I want to talk about. I remember it's one of my favorite albums, but I just can't remember right now which one. So let me check it right here very quick. And I was gonna go talk about, oh yeah, yes, I was gonna talk to you guys about another underrated album, another album that's usually hated by the fans, but that I think it's really, really good, and I can't really understand why people hate that album. I'm talking about Helloween's The Dark Ride. For me, it was the album that brought Helloween into my life. I understand it's a bit darker than usual. I understand that also that's a bit heavier than most Helloween albums, except for the newest album called Seven Sinners, which I thought was really, really good, specifically because it reminded me a lot of the Dark Ride album. The Dark Ride album has some of the best songs that I have heard in Helloween in one album, you know, like Sun Is Going Down. If I Could Fly was one of the greatest Helloween songs ever. And what else is there? Mr. Torture is a great song. We Damn the Night. You know, it seems like if you look through it, if you look seriously at it, it's still a very, very positive and happy Helloween album. But I can see how it's tinged. I would say it's tinged with darkness, but I think it gives a very, very interesting flavor to it. But I'm gonna leave that decision up to you guys. Overall, if I had to qualify both albums, I would say that Musique. It's about somewhere between an 8 and a 9, maybe not a 10, because I think Assembly was a very, very far better album, electronic album. I think it had better ideas, very atmospheric, and it was better at getting together all those influences of theater tragedy. But I would give it somewhere between an 8 and a 9, while Helloween's The Dark Ride I would put definitely somewhere around 10. Yeah, 10 or a 9. That's a great album, even though I don't like the whole songs. Maybe a 10. Let's give it a 9, because yeah, Helloween, even though it's a great album, I don't like many of the songs. Some of the songs I think are just plain silly and just plain trying too hard to be dark. Especially the album title song, The Dark Ride. I never really liked it. I've never really put much of the attention to it. But otherwise, I think it's lost among the power of some really other good songs that are out there. Other than that, I'm still working on getting you guys a better show, putting up all those images here. But I also think that it works better if I can have you guys check out the Facebook profile, because I can put a lot of stuff there that I can't put here without YouTube censoring me. So you guys really might want to look into the Facebook profile and talk about, and maybe post comments, because usually I'm a really big Facebook user, so maybe you wanna go there and talk to me and leave your comments, and I can answer to them more quickly than I could looking at your comments over here on the YouTube page. Other than that, that's it for this week. I'll be seeing you next week. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems like a very, let's hope we have important news for you guys to hear. Like always, if you wanna recommend anything, be sure to drop me a line here on the comment sections, or if you wanna, or in the Facebook. Please recommend this to your friends over in Facebook or in YouTube. And have a nice week. Goodbye.